My mother left me at a gas station when I was 6. 20 years later, I finally learned why she couldn't laugh about it anymore. Have you ever discovered that a funny family story wasn't actually funny to everyone involved puking? Up there was one tale my family told at gatherings that always guaranteed laughs, except as I eventually learned, from the person who mattered most. I was 6 years old when my mother, grandmother, older brother, and I were driving back from visiting relatives about 2 hours from home. It was getting dark, and we stopped at the gas station in an unfamiliar town to fill up before the final stretch. When my mom went to pay, she realized she was 37 cents short. This was 1998, before you could just swipe a card at the pump. The cashier was strict about the exact amount. "Jamie," my mom said, digging in her purse and handing me 2 quarters, "run inside and give this to the man at the counter. Tell him it's for pump number 4. I nodded seriously, proud to be trusted with such an important mission. Until a line had formed, being a rule-following first grader, I waited patiently behind 3 adults, clutching my coins tightly in my small fist. By the time I finally handed over the money, nearly 5 minutes had passed. I remember the cashier smiling down at me, saying something about being a good helper. When I walked outside, the parking lot looked different. Empty. Our blue minivan was gone. The world seemed to tilt sideways. I stood frozen, trying to make sense of what I was seeing. Had I come out the wrong door? Had they moved the car? Was this some kind of game? But deep down I knew they had left without me. I sat down on the curb, my legs suddenly too wobbly to stand. I didn't cry immediately, shock I guess. Instead, I remember thinking with strange adult clarity, this is how those kids on milk cartons start. After what felt like forever but was probably 10 minutes, our minivan came screeching back into the parking lot. My mother flew out before it fully stopped, her face streaked with tears. She gathered me into her arms so tightly I could barely breathe. "I'm sorry, I am so sorry," she kept repeating into my hair. "I heard the door close and thought you were inside. I didn't realize until we were miles away and I asked if you wanted a snack." For years afterward, this became our family's go-to anecdote. "Remember when Mom left Jamie at the gas station?" my brother would say, and everyone would laugh. I'd join in, adding dramatic details about my abandonment. My mother would smile and shake her head, saying, "Worst mom moment ever." This continued until I was in college. During a holiday dinner, someone brought up the story again. I glanced over and noticed something I'd never seen before. My mother's smile didn't reach her eyes. She excused herself shortly after. Later that night, I found her sitting alone on the porch swing. "Are you okay?" I asked, sitting beside her. She was quiet for a long moment. "I need to tell you something about that gas station story." She explained that after realizing I wasn't in the van, she had experienced the most profound terror of her life. She'd been so hysterical that my grandmother had to take the wheel during those frantic minutes driving back. Her mind had conjured every possible horror, abduction, injury, or worse. "For weeks afterward, I had nightmares," she confessed. "I'd wake up screaming, convinced I'd lost you forever. I started therapy because of that day. For years, I couldn't drive past a gas station without checking the back seat 3 times. I was stunned. But you always laughed when we told the story because that's what everyone expected. It became this funny family tale, and I didn't want to be dramatic. But every time someone brings it up, I relive those 15 minutes when I thought my child was gone forever." We sat in silence, the weight of 20 years of misunderstanding between us. "Why didn't you ever say anything?" I finally asked. "How do you tell your child that the story they find funny gave you parentiality?" she replied. "I just wanted you to have normal memories, not be burdened by my guilt." That night changed our family dynamic forever. We retired the gas station story from our repertoire of family tales. Some memories, we realized, aren't meant to be punchlines. Every family has stories they tell and retell until they become almost mythological. But sometimes beneath the laughter and familiar narrative lies a different truth, one that's been waiting years to be acknowledged. Now when I look back at childhood photos, I notice something I'd missed before. In every picture taken in the weeks after the gas station incident, my mother is holding my hand.